Good day, everyone. Today we're going to talk about making plastic yarn and weaving as part of our fibers unit on our choice board. So as you can see in front of me, I have a plastic bag. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that my edges are sort of tucked in here and make it into sort of a square. And then the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it in half this way. And then I'm going to fold it in half again. So I have a very tiny rectangle. And if you have smaller hands that are doing it, you can even fold it in half again. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take my scissors. Does not matter what kind of scissors you have or what size they are. And I'm going to cut off the handles here. And then I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to cut off the bottom. The next thing that I'm going to do is about 1/2 inch or like the size of an adult finger. I'm going to cut it into little strips. Okay, that's enough for right now. So I've got these little strips now. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to unfold my strips, and as you can see, if you've done it correctly, they've made a loop. If your loop isn't even, see mine's a little uneven, that is okay. And I'm going to make another loop here. All right, so then I'm going to join my two loops together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one loop, and then I'm going to take the other loop like this, and then I'm going to take the other loop and put it through the first loop, and then pull it together. I don't want to pull it too tight because then the plastic would break. So then I'm going to take another loop and unfold it, take the end of my string, tuck that loop in, and there we go. So now I've got a nice long string. Okay, so I'm going to lay that out. Now since we're going to be weaving, we're going to need a weaving mat. So I got this from my recycling. See if I can show it to you here. Where we go. Okay. And what I did is I took a ruler and I made marks at every 1/2 inch, the top and bottom. And then I used my scissors to make a little cut so that I would have little notches. So you can see that, you know, they fold back. So then what I did is I prepared a long string. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this like a piece of yarn. And I'm going to start with a long piece, just hanging over the back like this. And I'm going to wrap it through my notches. Now you can see halfway through, I didn't make mine long enough. So I'm going to take another one of my loops and I'm going to loop it on there. I did not do that one right. Okay. There we go. I'm gonna have to add some more in a minute. Okay, I only have a little bit left here. And I'm gonna need a longer portion because I'm gonna tie this together on the back. So I'm gonna add another loop. So just for frame of reference, it has taken me a whole Kroger bag to make this warp, which is the technical art term for these strings that are going this way. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie my 2 strings together right here. Hold on, here we go. And I'm going to use a double knot, just like you do with your shoes. So I'm going to make an X, and the bunny goes under the hole, and then I'm going to make another one. Now I don't want these strings to get in my way, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut them so they're shorter. But since I've tied them off, it won't be any harm. And this is the side that I'll be working with. Now, this is going to be a little bit more difficult than working with yarn because, as you can see, some of the pieces have gotten like, you know, frizzier or whatever, so we're going to have to be very careful. Now, the cool part about this is there's so many different colors of bags. So this one is a Kroger bag and it's brown. I've got my Walmart bag, which is gray. And then my favorite store, Dollar Tree, which is green and white. So I'll get some patterns in there. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to start weaving, okay? So I'm going to take the first end and I'm going to do just like I would do if I was using yarn. I'm going to go under, over, under, over, up, under, over, under, and then over. And I'm going to leave a little tail right here. And then I'm going to stretch out my string. Now I used 3 loops put together to make this piece of yarn because even though longer seems better, it is not always better. The longer your string is, the easier it will be to get tangled. So I do want a long string, but I don't want it to be too long. So I thought 3 would be a good amount. So I'm going to take my long end over here and I'm going to start on this side. And I'm always going to look at what happened below to tell me what to do next. So right here, it's under, so I'm always going to do the opposite of what's underneath. So I'm going to go over. So now I'm going to go over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under, and then I'm going to pull through. Oh, I got caught on my table. All right. So now I've made 2 lines. Okay, so remember when we're weaving, we don't have to pull really hard this way because the thing that's going to keep our weaving together is how we go this way, okay? So if we keep it tight, pulling it down this way, then our weaving will stay together. So don't worry about pulling it inwards. If you pull it inwards and your yarn, if your weaving keeps going like this, it's going to be harder to weave when you get to the top. So you want to try to keep your areas pretty straight, okay? So I am going to stop there for today, and then I'm going to have an update video in a couple days to show you where I'm at. And then in a couple more days, I'm going to finish mine and I'm going to show you how to take it off the loom. So I hope that you guys are working together and getting things done, and I can't wait to see your progress. All right, I'll talk to you later.